We call the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting for Tuesday, December the 10th to order. First item of business is opening prayer by Mr. Williams from Fullview Baptist Church. I'm sorry. And then if you would rise for the prayer, remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor and Alderman, for inviting us in tonight to invoke the Lord's presence on behalf of Pastor Dr. Jonathan Reynolds and the Fullview family. We thank you. Let us pray. Father God, we come tonight thanking you for your goodness, your grace, your mercy, your loving kindness towards us, your people, dear God. You said in your word, dear God, unless the Lord builds the house, the laborer labors in vain that builds it. Unless you, Lord, watch over the city, the watchmen lay awake all night in vain. So we invoke your presence tonight to come before us and let your presence be known. Let your power reign over us tonight, dear God, and let your knowledge and wisdom rule over these, your leaders of this city. And we thank you for that. Dear Lord, we just believe that tonight, just like you had mapped out in your plan a place called Canaan, we believe tonight that you have in your plan mapped out a place called Bartlett, Tennessee. And so we just ask you tonight, dear God, to be God and God alone. And we thank you for this assembly of leaders and staff that's not ashamed to not only say it, but to post it, that we revere you as God that we trust. So tonight, dear God, we just ask you to come in and be God. We ask you to, in every decision that's made, dear God, that you be at the center of it, that you will continue to laud this leadership of this board with the wisdom and knowledge to lead your people, and that Bartlett, Tennessee will continue to be a place that we can walk in peace, and a place that we can work for profit and live a good life, and it's a place that we can worship in peace and give you praise. We ask it all in the name of Jesus and give thanks. Let every believing heart say, amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you read future meetings into the record, please?
Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, December 12th at 6 p.m. Historic Preservation Commission, December 16th at 6:30 p.m. Bartlett Performing Arts and Conference Center Advisory Board, December 17th at 6 p.m. Board of Zoning Appeals, December 19th at 6:30 p.m. City Beautiful Commission, January 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Family Assistance Commission, January 6th at 6 p.m. Bartlett Station Commission, January 8th at 7:30 a.m. Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, January 9th at 6 p.m. YMCA Advisory Board, January 13th at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I see we have some scouts in the crowd, so if you would, please come to the microphone. State your name and your troop number and the badge you're working on, if you would.
Hi, I'm Cooper Guthrie. We're from Troop 261, and we're working on the citizenship and the community merit badge.
Thank you.
I'm Tristan Perez. I'm also from Troop 261, and we're working on the community or citizenship and the community merit badge.
Hi, I'm Owen Person. We are from Troop 261, and I'm also working on the citizenship and the community merit badge.
Thank y'all for coming. Well, next item on the agenda is the Markham Awards. As I come down forward, I'm going to ask Miss Debbie Jeleno and Miss Christy Kelly to come forward.
Well, Well, Mayor and Aldermen, we're excited to say 2 years ago we started on this new adventure to do some rebranding in the city and kind of highlight things and liven it up a little bit. And we worked with Christy, she's the owner and president of Kelly and Associates. And tonight she has some exciting news that she wants to tell us about everything that the branding did. And I think we have a PowerPoint that'll show a little bit of what we've done.
Yes. Thank y'all for having me this evening. I appreciate it. When Mayor Parsons took office in 2023, I was honored both as a Bartlett business owner and citizen to be selected to partner on this rebranding refresh for the city. And my staff and I could not be more excited that we have won the Platinum, the highest honor of the branding refresh category of the prestigious 2024 Markham Awards. And to tell you a little bit about the Markham Awards, they celebrate outstanding achievements by creative professionals in marketing and communication. This year, the competition saw over 6,500 entries from across the United States, Canada, and 4,300 other countries, so the competition was stiff. It's one of the oldest, largest, and most respected creative competitions globally. The Markham Awards are sponsored and judged by the Association of Marketing and Communication Professionals. This Platinum Award is a testament to dedication, passion, and creativity that went into this brand refresh. It reflects our community's pride and spirit, showcasing Bartlett in a vibrant and engaging new light. I know most of you have seen some of the creative around town, the visuals and the copy lines. Not too many years ago, Kelly & Associates was asked to design a logo for the city of Bartlett, and as part of the refresh, we came up with the tagline, Hometown Pride, or Bartlett Proud. I think we use both of them interchangeably. Bartlett Proud conveys the community's pride in its growth, development, and family-friendly environment. It reflects the city's commitment to nurturing future generations through education, recreation, and civic engagement, ensuring that Bartlett remains a welcoming and supportive hometown for all of its residents. And like I said, you'll see Hometown Proud used as well. It speaks to the close-knit relationships among the residents and the rich traditions that define Bartlett. Community involvement in Bartlett is robust, with residents participating in city events, volunteer programs, local festivals, children's sports leagues, with many new community events introduced just this year, like the Food Truck Friday, outdoor movie nights, and lots of concerts. These events foster a spirit of camaraderie and unity, celebrating the city's heritage while inviting the newer residents to become part of the fabric of Bartlett. You'll see visuals and language on the PowerPoint that convey these sentiments. They're on light pole banners, baseball park banners, pickleball court banners, the tennis courts at the dog park, park kiosk signs, banners at the splash pad, window clings, businesses around town. You'll see stickers in their windows, buttons, vehicle magnets, and the city's trade show backdrop. So this campaign really encourages all Bartlett residents to be part of their hometown. So congratulations to the city for
It really exemplifies hometown proud when a Bartlett business does this and competes with 43 countries and 6,500 applicants. We win an award like that. So, Christy, we just want to say thank you. Glad to have you in Bartlett. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Well, just as that brought the bacon home with a Platinum Award, you must have seen the agenda last month where you approved a $750,000 grant. And we had the privilege of sending our Parks Director and our Assistant Park Director to the big city of Pinson, Tennessee. Small town, but a big check. And I would like them to come forward and show the community what they brought home. The microphone's yours, Paul.
So, as you can see, it is a big check, both in actual stature as well as the number on that. That is a lot of zeros behind the 7 and the 5. So just a reminder what this money is going to help do. Again, this is going to help revitalize Shadowlawn Park here, one of our oldest parks within our system. It was developed in the mid-1960s and really has had minimal improvement with the exception of the pickleball court that we installed in 2021. So we're going to replace the existing restroom concession building that was built in 1971. We're going to have brand new walkways, pathways to make sure that it's all ADA compliant to connect all of the various amenities there. We're going to repave the parking lot, add additional parking spaces, and then also replace the 20-plus-year-old playground there. And the goal is to get this all done within the 3-year timeline that they've given us. Just a rough estimate of what we're looking at is we'll go out to bid early part of this spring of 2025, and we'll probably be breaking ground at the conclusion of the spring 2025 season for the Bartlett Little League. So hopefully we can get that knocked out and only displace them for the fall 2025 season. So.
Thank you, Paul, for the good job you're doing in your leadership.
Yes, sir.
I thought Jim looked real good in that suit this week. Moving to the official business of the day. Before we start the meeting, I just want to give you a couple of updates. We had a meeting, about an hour-and-a-half long meeting with the bank today concerning Richland Valley, and all the concerns that the punch list that have been lingering for years and years was discussed, and they're in a position that any day now, certainly by Christmas time, to have a contract in place, and hopefully work will start right at the beginning of the year of being able to address a lot of those items that have been not addressed since probably 2014. So Richland Valleys, the folks living out there, just keep your eyes. Hopefully you'll see some work going on here for long. We did discuss a homeowner association meeting that we're trying to work on a date about the 3rd week in January. But just stay tuned right there, more news to follow. And while we're just kind of giving updates, I'll give you another update that we had mentioned a couple of weeks ago. I had talked with Mr. David Fowler, the owner of the Quail Ridge Golf Course. I've heard no correspondence between that date and now, and I just want to tell you, we've heard no correspondence, so you want to know what's going on. Nothing's moving there, so the ball's in his court, and hopefully we hear something about what his intentions and plans are. Another little item I'd like to clean up is there was some discussion in one of the subdivisions last month that we talked about. Kevin brought up an amendment about requiring the HOAs to have a clause in there that would not allow rentals. And Kevin, thank you for following up on that. I'm going to let our city attorney, Mr. Ed McKinney, you had a good memory, and I'll let him tell us the outcome of that.
Well, I'm not sure my memory was all that good, Mayor, but Ms. Medlock actually found minutes from September of 2022 in which the board did do that. We probably should not have done that. A resolution had been adopted back in June of 2022 recommending and encouraging homeowners and property owners associations to review their covenants and bylaws to include provisions that would require owner-occupied property. And that really is the better way to do it, as opposed to the board imposing obligations during a board meeting. So I would certainly recommend in the future that when planning and engineering are dealing with the developers, that they discuss all of that. And then if the developer is willing to enter into or create a homeowners association and have those provisions in there, that's enforceable. That's enforceable. But that really is the decision of the homeowners association to do that, and the developers will have a big role in the initial homeowners association.
Good. Hopefully, Kevin, that cleared up.
Oh, yeah, I was worried that I had faulty memory over 2 years, so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, moving forward, we move to approval of the minutes. Madam, the minutes of the November 26, 2024 Board of Mayor and Aldermen regular meeting have been in your packet. Hopefully you've reviewed those and not seen any omissions, corrections, or errors, and Chair to entertain a motion to approve.
Move we approve.
Second. Been properly motioned and properly second. Madam Clerk, will you place the roll before the board? Motion of the minutes passes. Now we move to public hearings. Individuals will have a maximum of 3 minutes to speak either for or against the item, with a total of 20 minutes for each side. Madam Clerk, will you read item number 1 under public hearings to the record, please?
Ordinance 24-11, an ordinance to designate the Bell Martin House, 3101 Court Street, a historic landmark.
Those wishing to speak in favor of ordinance 2411, please come to the podium at this time. Seeing no one wishing to be recognized to speak in favor, any in opposition of ordinance 2411, please come forward. Seeing no one come forward, we'll adjourn the public hearing for ordinance 24-11. Madam Clerk, we read item number 2 under the public hearings into the record, please.
Ordinance 24-12, an ordinance to designate the Tatum Peterson House, 2991 Sycamore View Road, a historic landmark.
Any wishing to speak in favor, please come forward. Seeing no one coming forward, those who wish to speak in opposition, please come forward at this time. Seeing no one coming forward, we will adjourn ordinance 24-12. Now we move to item number 3. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 24-13, an ordinance to designate the Pruden Milliken House, 2923 Sycamore View Road, a historic landmark.
Those wishing to speak in favor, please come forward. Seeing no one coming forward, those in opposition. Seeing no one coming forward, we will adjourn the public hearing for ordinance 24-13 and close the public hearing. Moving to unfinished business, Madam Clerk, we read item number 1 under unfinished business.
Third reading of ordinance 24-11, an ordinance to designate the Bell Martin House, 3101 Court Street, a historic landmark.
Chair would entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Motion properly received.
I'll second.
Motion seconded by Alderman Kevin Quinn. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Madam Clerk, we move to the vote. Motion carries 5-1. Now we'll move to item number 2, Madam Clerk.
Third reading of ordinance 24-12, an ordinance to designate the Tatum Peterson House, 2991 Sycamore View Road, a historic landmark.
Anyone desiring to make a motion to approve?
Sorry, go ahead.
Move to approve.
Properly motioned by Alderman Brad King and seconded?
Yeah, I'll second.
Seconded by Alderman Kevin Quinn. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we will move to the roll call. The motion carries 5-1 for the third reading of ordinance 24-12. Madam Clerk, we read item number 3 into the record, please.
Third reading of ordinance 24-13, an ordinance to designate the Pruden Milliken House, 2923 Sycamore View Road, a historic landmark.
I'll move we approve, I guess.
Motion made by Alderman Kevin Quinn,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Brad King. Any discussion?
Yeah, I do want to add something real quick. Appreciate y'all going through this process. I think it holds a lot of value to have the houses landmarked and give us people, visitors, something to look at around town. And after Alderman Reeves had made me nervous about some of the backgrounds and the people, I did scour them, and I will say I did a little extra scouring on this, but I could not find anything in my mother-in-law's background that would preclude anything here, but I did try, so that's all I'd say. Thank y'all for.
You did say that's your mother-in-law's house?
It is. That is. That's right. I checked carefully.
Okay. Any more discussion? Madam Clerk, please pass the roll. Ordinance fails with 3 abstaining. The motion did not carry. I understand. And I choose not to vote at this time, so the motion fails for a lack of majority vote. We move to a consent agenda. We have 3 consent items. Any member on the board may remove any item for separate vote. Madam Clerk, is there any board member wish to remove any item? No items wish to be removed. Madam Clerk, will you read the 3 items that we have into the record, please?
Special event permit for St. Valentine's Day 5K 10 run. Item 2, intent to encumber remaining ARPA revenues and provide funding for fire department ambulance. Item 3, treasurer's report for October 2024.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Motion. I have a motion by Alderman David Reeves.
Second.
And seconded by Alderman Robert Griffin. There's no discussion on consent agenda items, excuse me. Madam Clerk, place the roll, please. It passes unanimous. Now moving to new business. Madam Clerk, read item number 1 under new business.
Proposed projects for submission to the Metropolitan Planning Organization for inclusion in the Transportation Improvement Plan.
At this time, I'd ask our Mr. John Horn, our Director of Engineering, to come forward.
Good evening. Every 4 years, we have an opportunity to apply for federal grants, federal funding for the paving of our streets. And so we're making application for that this month. I wanted to give you an update. This is typically called the Transportation Improvement Program, and this is federal funding from our Federal Highway Department that is given to TDOT, and then TDOT disperses it through the MPO, the Memphis Metropolitan Planning Organization. And so currently what we have on the books, what I'm showing you, this was our previous application, which was the 23 through 26 tip. And so these projects that you see on the map comprise about $13 million that we applied for back in 2022, that we were granted this money for road projects, of which we have a 20% match. This is all typical in these projects, that we have a 20% match. Federal grant is an 80% match. And so you see the split there on your screen. The yellow lines on there are for several paving projects that you see on there. You see Old Brownsville, portion of Old Brownsville Road. You see a portion of St. Elmo, Billy Mayer, Brunswick, Elmore, and Elmore Park. And those are projects we're still underway trying to push forward to construction. You also see on there, there's a green line, and that is our Fletcher Creek walking trail. That's the 4th phase of that. You also see several blue dots and red dots. Those are handicap ramps, because federal government, if we're going to receive federal funds, we have to participate in an ADA transition plan to where we repair all of our handicap ramps. And so those are a number of handicap ramps that are under design utilizing this federal funds. And so these are the projects. This is, again, about $13 million of construction projects for our roads that are still on the books as we speak, that we're pushing forward. Now, if I haven't overwhelmed you already, let me go on to the next picture. And this is what we're about to apply for, is on this next page. So we are applying in the 26-29 TIP program for approximately $31 million, of which that would be about a 20% match of Bartlett, which would be approximately $6 million. And so what we've done is we have looked at the roads that we can use this funding for, and the biggest road that you see on there heading north is Kirby-Witten. You also see segments of Alturia, also Yale Road, and Appling are on there in the midst of that. The red line is for a new fiber optic, which hasn't been replaced in about 20 years, down Stage Road to improve the signalization of Stage Road. Because all those signal heads are getting overloaded with more and more information. We're eventually going to have to improve that. And there's actually the green line, which is Fletcher Creek Phase 5, which would be the last portion north of Ellis Road. So again, we've got $13.2 million of projects that we're pushing forward that's still in the books. We're applying for an additional $31 million in funds for the TIP 26 to 29. So that's a grand total of about $44 million we're trying to utilize over the next, I would say this would be through 2031 is how long these projects are going to take us to actually build because of the process that we're applying for. So if you as the board approve this tonight, we will submit the application to the local MPO by the end of this year. So we've only got a few weeks to finish that application process. It'll take an entire calendar year, all of 2025, for FHWA, TDOT to approve this. And in January 2026, when we get a green light, we can move forward with this plan that we see here.
And just keep in mind, it's an ask.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
I think at our last meeting, or the meeting before that, Alderman King talked about Billy Mayer being, the street he lives on, it being a county road. If that's the case, why are we paving a county road?
Well, not all of Billy Mayer is a county road. There's a portion of Billy Mayer that's a city road, and that's the portion that we're going to be paving.
Okay, that's what I need. Thank you.
Move we approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned. Any discussion? That motion was made by Alderman David Reeves and properly seconded by Vice Mayor Jack Young. If hearing no discussion, Madam Clerk, let them see the roll. The 2026 through 2029 MPO plan is approved, unanimous. So, Madam Clerk, will you read under new business item number 2?
Resolution 41-24, resolution to amend the fiscal year 2025 general fund budget Exhibit B fee schedule.
At this time, Mr. Dick Phoebus, Director of Finance, you're recognized.
This resolution comes to us from the city clerk's office. They've identified some additional fees, 6 of them that are listed on the resolution itself, that they are able to assess the people who use the clerk's office. And there was an addendum to the resolution showing the authority given by the TCA code. So these are the 6 items that the clerk has requested to be added to his fee schedule.
There's some discussion, Mr. Phoebus, in the work session. Those are to take effect January 1?
January 1.
Yeah, January 1. So we've had workshop on this, so.
Move we approve. Second.
Been properly motioned and seconded. And is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Madam Clerk? Motion carries, unanimous. Madam Clerk, item number 3.
Resolution 42-24, resolution to rename the City of Bartlett's Personnel Department to the Human Resources Department.
At this time, we recognize our Chief Administrative Officer, Mr. Steve Sones.
Yeah, so this resolution and the forthcoming title adjustment both aim to, 1, replace outdated terminology, and then more directly focus on the ever-expanding functions of our Human Resource Department. This change will augment our efforts to foster a culture that not only is administrative, but also strategic and collaborative, to further emphasize the importance of employee engagement as we move forward.
Move we approve.
Properly motioned and properly seconded. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, present the roll. It also carries with unanimous. Madam Clerk, read item number 4.
Resolution 43-24, resolution to revise Chapter 2, Section 2.3 of the City of Bartlett Personnel Policy Manual, appointed positions, to rename the position of Director of Personnel to Chief Human Resources Officer and the position of Assistant Director of Personnel to Deputy Human Resources Officer.
Mr. Sones, you're recognized.
I would just say ditto as before.
Second.
Properly motioned, second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk. Resolution 43-24 carries. Madam Clerk, we read item number 5.
First reading of ordinance 24-14, an ordinance to amend the City of Bartlett zoning ordinance, Article 6, Section 9, supplementary district regulations, parking, storage, or use of major recreational equipment, Article 6, Section 10, parking and the storage of certain vehicles in residential zoning districts, by adding definitions, and Article 6, Section 12, minimum off-street parking requirements. The public hearing to be set for February 11th, 2025.
Mr. Trey Arthur, Director of Code Department.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 2414 is the ordinance to amend the City of Bartlett zoning ordinance, Article 6, Section 9, 10, and 12. This ordinance pertains to the storage of certain vehicles in residential zoning districts. Currently, City of Bartlett Code Enforcement, all of our calls, about 15% of them pertain to storage of certain type vehicles. This new ordinance would clean up some of that language and better align with changes that we've had over the years. We had a work session this afternoon, and I think we need to revise some of the language in this work session based upon recommendations by this board.
Alderman King, you're recognized.
I'm going to amend this ordinance. I'm going to remove Section 10B, parking location exemption, number 2, rear yard parking paragraph, and remove in illustration number 3.
Mr. King,
Yeah.
you need to put it before us.
Okay. The motion's got to come forward. Yeah.
I thought we, thank you. But he's all rip-roaring, ready to go. I was going to let him go.
That's okay. I just want to make sure we don't get something up. That's the
Okay.
procedure.
So we've been properly motioned.
Yeah.
And properly second. Any discussion?
I'll second it.
All right, I'm going to amend to remove Section 10B, parking lot location exceptions, number 2, rear yard parking paragraph, and remove in the illustration number 3 and completely screened in by approved fence. The rest of it be fine, but I'm going to amend those.
Properly motioned, properly second, including the set the public hearing.
We're on the amendment now, correct?
Okay, so been properly motioned, been properly second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll just do a voice vote on the, okay, you got it? Okay. Okay, the amendment passes.
Okay.
So now, we, main motion.
I move to approve. The motion's already in. It's already got a second. We're ready to vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. That's what we just did. So, the amendment passes, and somewhere in there, the public hearing was set for February the 11th, 2025. Item number 6, Madam Clerk.
First reading of ordinance 24-15, an ordinance of the City of Bartlett, Tennessee, adopting by reference state traffic offenses and the rules of the road.
This time, Mr. J.J. Leatherwood, our court clerk.
Good evening. This ordinance is to adopt the rules of the road as set forth by Tennessee Code Annotated. This is to be updating what we had previously done in 2008 to adopt any rules of the road that have changed since then to now.
Motion.
Second. Properly motion, properly second. Any discussion? Hear no discussion from the board. Madam Clerk, please pass the roll. J.J., why is the chief grinning? He's proud of you. Oh, so ordinance 25-15 carries. Look at him bringing ordinances, bringing an ordinance before us and getting it passed, Chief. You raised him good, didn't you? So, Madam Clerk, item number 7.
Appoint Lori Von Bokel Amin as Chief Human Resources Officer effective January 1st, 2025.
We present Lori to y'all tonight to fill this new position. Steve, what'd you call it?
Chief Human Resources Officer. She would be the first.
First. So,
Second.
I second.
been properly motioned, been properly second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Madam Clerk. Miss Lori, we're proud to have you. Would you, we're gonna move, if you would, join me at the podium. And, yeah, her son's gonna come. So, we have just made a motion to direct our Chief Human Resource Officer. I know that because I read it down here. So, if you would, place your, right hand on, raise your right hand, put the other hand on the Bible, would be good. Just please repeat it. Please repeat after me. I'm going to call you Lori.
Lori's fine.
Lori, I can say, I, Lori.
I, Lori.
Is that okay? I need to say
Von Bokel, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Chief Human Resource Officer
of Chief Human Resources Officer
for the City of Bartlett, Tennessee,
for the City of Bartlett, Tennessee,
and will uphold the charter and ordinances
and will uphold the charter and ordinances
of the City of Bartlett,
of the City of Bartlett,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Tennessee,
of the State of Tennessee,
and the United States of America.
and the United States of America.
And I further swear
And I further swear
that I shall perform my duties
that I should perform my duties
as Chief Human Resource Officer
as Chief Human Resources Officer
without favor or partiality,
without favor or partiality,
and not affected by personal consideration
and not affected by personal consideration
of gain or conflict.
of gain or conflict.
This I do solemnly swear.
This I do solemnly swear.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Well, Laura, let's see if it's working. So, Laura, you are the first Chief Human Resource Officer title that we've had. Is there something you'd like to say to the crowd?
First of all, thank you so much for this honor. I'm looking forward to serving you, the citizens of Bartlett, and also serving the city of Bartlett. So thank you for the honor. I look forward to fulfilling the duties and serving all of you. Thank you. Looking forward to it.
We now move to open discussion, and this will be our last meeting of the year 2024. And so we'll open up to the board. Does any of the board have anything they would wish to say to the public? And Alderman King has got his hand up first.
I just wish everyone a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and we're looking forward to a great year next year. And appreciate all the work that the directors do, and you just don't know how much we appreciate you. Merry Christmas.
Quinn, did you have your hand up?
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. I'm just going off what Brad said. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. And thank you to the city employees for all their hard work and putting up the snowflakes and everything like that and keeping the city pretty through the holidays and safe. Thank y'all.
Alderman Reeves.
Same thing. I mean, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a blessed time with your families, and you've had a heck of a year. You really earn all the praise that we could give you for being such a great and phenomenal group of employees and people. Really appreciate all the work that you do. Hope you have a really Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Young.
I just want to echo what everyone else said. I hope everyone that works here and everyone that lives here has a very Merry Christmas.
Alderman Robert Griffin.
Well, I'll be a little bit more specific. Thank you for everyone's work on the parade. All the different departments who are so intimately involved with the parade was so successful. And congratulations to Parks as they continue to rub their trophy into the faces of all the other departments. But seriously, it was a phenomenal turnout by the community, phenomenal support by the community, and then just the participation from all the area businesses as well as all of our city departments. Thank you for that.
Ms. Monique Williams.
Same thing as everyone else. Just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and just thank you all for all your hard work this year. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen in 2025. There's been just some amazing things happening in Bartlett over the over this year. So I'm excited to see what we do in 2025, and just excited for Bartlett.
We think that's, obviously the new route has given us a lot more opportunities for more people to get around. We think it's probably one of the largest parades that we've had. We had 75 floats in the parade, so 25 floats, I'm sorry, 75 entries, I'm sorry. So, Deb, why don't you come up here? It's time for, why don't you clean up what I just said?
Well, I'm going to kind of piggyback on what Alderman Griffin said. I just thank everyone for coming out. It was a huge parade. We estimate probably 15,000 people, maybe. They were 3 rows deep. We did work out a lot of the kinks. Inspector Thompson back there, she was the one at the gate at the end, and she did an awesome job with that. I think she kind of got waved at a few times. But anyway, we love that route. I think the citizens are getting really used to that route. They like it. It's kind of like a tailgating party. I just wanted to thank Bartlett Baptist Church publicly for what they did to help us do with pre-parade entertainment, New Hope for helping us with the staging area and providing hot chocolate and stuff for all the people in the parade. And yes, we had 75 entries and 24 floats, and this year we had some awesome floats that were really, really good. So just thank everyone. We do have an event coming up this Saturday. Todd, you want me to go ahead? Okay, it's called not singing around the Christmas tree, it's skating around the Christmas tree. But it's, so we'll be watching the weather.
I got it.
You got it?
I got it. So it's rolling around the Christmas tree. It was a good try, nice try. So 2 to 5 this Saturday, Freeman Park up by the pavilion. We're going to block it off. Cordova Skating Rink has donated a bunch of skates for us. We're going to play some music, have concessions open. We just figured it'd be a nice little event to get the community together one last time before Christmas. So rolling around the tree, weather permitting. We are keeping an eye on the weather. So rolling around the Christmas tree.
The Parks is doing. Next on the 20th, Paul, a movie at the venue. It's a Christmas movie, Home Alone, and more on that on our social media. And then after that, Todd and I are going to take a break until next year. We've got lots and lots of stuff coming up. I think Pierce has something right here.
Hey, everybody. I just want to say that I'm so proud to live in Bartlett. I have a family of 6. I've got 4 small children. We were at the parade. We saw Santa Claus. I had my son on my shoulders. It was just a magical time. And each of you were there, and you all shook my hand, and you said thank you for being here, and I appreciate that. The Bartlett Chamber of Commerce is honored to partner with the city of Bartlett. David, I appreciate you letting me come into your office Friday for 30 minutes, as busy as you are, and us talking about life. Thank you so much for allowing me the pleasure to do that. It's a true honor. The Bartlett Chamber of Commerce is changing. We're rebranding, and we could not do it without the partnership that we have from the city. You guys are one of our largest contributors. We have an amazing 2025 planned, but to kick off the end of 2024, on Thursday, we have our holiday open house. Please come. We are going to have a food spread like you have never seen in your entire life. So it's going to be a great time, and then I know the city has a party after that. So please come by for just a short time. We'd love to see you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other director have anything they wish to say? Okay, Madam Clerk, will you read the rest of the paragraph for me?
If a citizen completed the open discussions citizens form prior to the start of the meeting, they may come forward and state their name and address for the record. The citizen will have up to 3 minutes, at which time a buzzer will sound and they must sit down. The total time limit for the open discussion period is 20 minutes, and I had 1 form submitted. That would be for Dwayne Kicklighter.
Letter. I live at 6554 Dawnhill Road. Mayor, Alderman, thank you for the opportunity to address you. What I'd like to speak about is the RV trailer storage. Okay? The current zoning allows for RV trailer behind the front line of the house. Now, for those individuals who bought their property with the current zoning ordinance in mind, realizing said property could be utilized within the zoning restrictions, current restrictions, for RV storage on their lot. This proposed amendment reduces the economic value of my lot, but also deprives me of the enjoyment of my RV trailer unless I am willing to pay monthly storage fees. Storage business will enjoy the increased demand for their service. Are you considering grandfathering existing citizens within the existing ordinance? I would be willing to erect a sign stating my trailer is grandfathered for anybody who passes by and says, how come they're not following the rule? Because I was here long before the amendment change. After the current homeowner sells the property, this exception could be voided. Thank you for your time. I'll answer any questions should you have any.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Been properly seconded. This concludes the BMA.